Hi, Anthony, Morgan Street Academy. Jeff. Today we're working on sectors.
All right.
Okay, so for you guys out there that have some experience in Kali or Eskrima or in Arnis, sectors are always going to be the important part of where we want to go. Think of it like an intersection. Okay, if you come up on a four-way intersection, you can go right, left, straight, back. Okay. So as I fire the one line here, see this position right here, these are all sectors. So if he chooses one sector, okay, he can choose any sector he wants. He can move to here, he can pick that line up, and he can strip the stick there. That's one sector. If I come into here and he changes that one, see there, one, see he can go into the next sector for a vine. I move into here, okay, now he can go around this way, see the disarm here? Okay, that's another sector. Now that's off of the one line. Okay, and the one is the most common swing that we throw.
Sure.
Now you can do this with a cane. You can do it with a walking stick. You can do it with a rifle. You can do it with a whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So now off of the two line, if I feed the two, let's come over here. If I feed the two line, which is this way, and he picks that up, you see the sectors here? Okay. Okay, now, he can go for the snake here, okay, one, okay. He can also do what's called a dig. If he moves to here, he can go for the dig, there, okay, that's the dig, all right. He can also go for the dig and the wrist lock, okay. You guys are familiar with the wrist lock? They're very, very painful. So when I move to here, he goes for the dig. I'll go for the wrist lock on the dig. Okay, from here, one, okay. So, wrist lock. So go dig through, bring that up there. See the wrist lock right here? There. That's the wrist lock. He got hit.
For safety glasses.
He got hit today. Not saying making excuses, but
yeah.
But sometimes how we approach things doesn't always how would I say it? And it has nothing to do with him getting hit. Okay. Sometimes we see one thing, and you guys are probably the same way. You see one thing in your head, and you start to do it with your hands, and it's completely different. You go, what was that?
Well, I can still do this.
So, off the two line, he can move here, okay? Now, he can pick this up a couple different ways, okay? He can pick this up here, and it's usually always sliding down, hitting the hand, okay? So now, from there, when he hits that, okay, now he can take any one of the sectors there. You see he's hitting my knuckle there? So then, see, he can go in for the vine. So it's just experimenting with different sectors. Now it changes the whole thing anytime we pull out a dagger, okay, and we start going through the sectors. It changes the, how would I say it? It changes the intro a little bit.
Sure.
Okay, because now with the dagger, we will usually, if I fire the two line here, okay, now he's got the dagger, okay, here, he can thrust there. Now he can dig, okay, or he can take to there. So the dagger is going to always be placed.
Inserted.
Yes, right. There. And see that. Now he can dig here. Okay. One, see there. And he's set to go. The dagger is going to always
be inserted.
Always following the line, right? And so if I'm inserting the dagger, it's always following the line. If I'm into here, this is here, the dagger. Okay, this is always, the dagger is always here. So the dagger is always following that line. So if I fire here once, see, the dagger is always already automatically there. Okay, when he moves around, okay, and he goes one here, the dagger's in again. So I'm kind of getting a little bit off on a rabbit trail, but in Oregon we have a lot of rabbit trails.
Yes, we do. So we go there.
So we go there. But main thing is just looking at sectors, and that's the whole thing with this video is
Sectors.
Look at sectors, you know, and no matter what happens, there's always sectors.
Yeah.
If I move in here, there's sectors, okay? Okay, sectors, if I'm here, see that's another sector. Here it's another sector, okay? If I'm into here, it's another sector. So even though it's a little bit different of a sector, it's still sectors.
Right.
And same with the footwork, you know, if I can step on the toe, that's a sector. If I step beside the foot, that's a sector. If I step on the inside of the foot, it's a sector.
Different sector.
Right, so everything we're doing, so if I fire here, it's his choice on where he wants to enter for that sector. Okay? So, this is not really an instructional video,
No.
but experiment, guys. Don't just get stuck in
One sector.
one sector, you know. Push yourself, experiment, and keep training.
Keep training. Stay calm, stay safe, and we'll see you.
See you guys tomorrow.